What is going on, guys? So I'm going to be showing off some of the new features for 1.17 today. This is Snapshot 20w45a, and it is actually insanely cool so far. So they've added a lot of new features already, but not even all the features that are going to be in Minecraft in 1.17. I did some exploring in a regular overworld, and I'll show you guys that before we get into the new blocks. So let's jump right in. So I was too excited to even read the patch notes yet, but I did start running around the world to see what I could find, and I found this. I'm absolutely not sure what it is, but it's called Tuff. Right under the Tuff, I found Calcite, so that is completely new. Oh, okay, so I started digging down, and I realized what I actually found. So these are the new crystal cave. I just found it literally right on top of the overworld, and it looks insane. There's a couple mobs in here that spawned. But as you can see, I got some blocks of amethyst, and there's amethyst growing in here, and this is starting to look really cool. So I'm gonna keep digging around, and hopefully we can find a really cool cave. So after saying that, I went and I explored some caves for a while, couldn't really find anything and was super confused, and then I decided to read the patch notes. And boy, I am stupid, because they have not yet added in the new caves and cliffs generation yet. They've just added in some new blocks and stuff. So I spent a long time looking for something that's not even in the game yet. So, silly me, should have read the patch notes first, but I was really excited. Anyway, I've brought us into a flat world just so I can show you guys all the new blocks and features that have been added so far to this update, and I hope you enjoy. Real quick before we get into it, if you're not subscribed, be sure to do that down below. We're going to be doing lots of 1.17 update videos, we're going to be doing build videos, redstone videos, and of course my Let's Play world. And I've actually got a new series coming soon. So if you're interested in any of my content, be sure to subscribe down below to stay updated. Alright, so the first thing we have is amethyst. So you saw how it spawns in the world that I started in, and here is all the different variations of how we'll see it in the game. Right here on these blocks is the amethyst shards that you'll see and how they grow. So they'll start out from there and they'll get all the way up to that big one right there. They can be mined with silk touch, and they can only be planted on these budding amethyst blocks right here that they're currently on. You'll see that the texture from a block of amethyst is just slightly different. It has like kind of a darker diamond in the middle of it, but other than that, they look very similar. So up next is the new ore copper. So after reading the patch notes, I realized that they haven't actually added the ore vein in yet, and it's just spawning in blobs just like everything else. So that's why when I was doing the little mining, I didn't actually see anything different. But once you smelt this copper ore right here, you'll get the copper ingot, which looks pretty nice. And then these are all the forms of copper that we can see in game. So right here, this is right after you craft it. This is what you'll get, and it'll be like that. And then it'll turn into slightly weathered copper, more weathered copper, and then completely oxidized copper. So this is a really great way to track the history of your builds, and in order for the copper to progress one stage, it actually takes 50 to 82 Minecraft days. It's kind of like a random in that zone for it to oxidize just one stage. So by the time it reaches the last stage, it's lasted over 150 days in Minecraft, which is pretty cool to think about. But they have also added another feature to the game. So these are the same copper blocks except for the final stage, but these are called waxed copper blocks. So what happens is you can take the honeycomb and use it to wax copper at a certain stage, and it will stay at that stage. It will not oxidize. So if you really like the first 3 stages of copper and you want to keep it that way, you don't want it to fully oxidize to the next stage, then you can use honeycomb to wax it and keep it at that color for the rest of your time in game. So with the new amethyst and copper blocks, what you can do is you can craft a spyglass using just a couple pieces of copper and an amethyst shard. And what this does is it does exactly what you would think it'd do. It zooms in, and you can see all the way over there, that horse. I can zoom right in on it. That village way in the distance, I can look at it. And this is a really cool feature that they've added to Minecraft. You know, all the players that have been using Optifine over the years have been able to do this already, But now here's a way for everybody in just plain vanilla Minecraft can zoom in on their own. Here we can see that the amethyst has actually grown over the block onto the side of it too. So that is another really interesting feature that we'll be able to see and how amethyst will actually grow in game. Another thing I want to show you guys that can be done with amethyst and some glass is creating tinted glass. So basically what this does is it's just normal glass except light cannot pass through it. So basically, if you wanted to create a dark room but also use glass, you can use tinted glass. Maybe you have a mob farm where you want to be able to see what you're doing, but you don't want to compromise the spawn rates of your mobs. You can use tinted glass. Let me just box myself in, and you can see it goes completely dark in here, even though glass is all around me. So this is a really cool new feature that they did not mention at all previously. So another really cool feature of tinted glass is it does not break like normal glass. I don't know if they're going to change this later on, but currently you can actively pick up tinted glass just with a normal diamond pickaxe, no enchantments needed. Just to clarify, it does not have to be a diamond pickaxe, it can be anything as long as you're just breaking the glass. So moving on to another feature that can be used with copper, with just 3 copper ingots, you can create the lightning rod. So what this will do is it actually attracts the lightning from the sky. So if you have a build with a lot of wood or wool that you want to protect from lightning, the copper rod can be used to get that lightning away from your build. So you can use this to protect your builds. Another interesting feature of the lightning rod is it actually sends a redstone signal when it is struck by lightning. So if you have a build that for some reason you only want activated during a storm and only when the lightning strikes, I don't really know exactly what you can do with this, but it will give off a redstone signal. I'm sure there's going to be a ton of cool builds done with that, but for right now, I really have no idea what you would do with that. Moving on to one of the next features of 1.17 is cauldrons can now finally be filled with lava buckets. So this is really cool, really fun to do. This could be really interesting if you're going to put these in like a brewing room, or maybe you have somewhere else you think would be really cool to put a cauldron filled with lava. You cannot pick them up with glass bottles, which I think does actually make a lot of sense, but it is cool that you can now fill these with lava. So the next feature that we have in our new update is candles. We briefly saw them when we were looking at the new mob, the Warden, and his lair. There was candles down there, and so these are really cool. So you can place up to 4 of them on one square. They do all have to be the same color to be on the same square, but they'll look like this. You can put 2 of them, but up to 4, and they look really cool. You light them with flint and steel. There's one uncolored, and then all the other colors that are in Minecraft. So these honestly look extremely cool. This is going to be a great new way to do lighting in your house. They kind of flicker and they look really cool. They're also completely waterloggable. So they'll go out as soon as you put water on them, but the fact that you can waterlog them is super interesting. There's definitely going to be some fun build ideas with that. So the next feature that we have that is incredible, it really changes the game of Minecraft completely, is the bundle. All right, so what you can do with the bundle is you can pick it up, and if we have, let's say, 32 leaves and 32 granite, you right click on them and you can put them both in the bundle, and then you'll see you have 32 jungle leaves and 32 granite. And you can really do however many you want to get up to 64. So let's do let's say 4 different things here. We'll pick up a bundle, right click on each one, and it automatically goes into the bundle. And then you have 4 different items in here. So this is really going to change how people adventure. This is going to change how people mine. This is adding a lot of really interesting ideas to Minecraft. And then if you want to take things out of the bundle, you just right click on it and everything goes back to its former stack. And now to answer the storage question that I've had since this was announced. Alright, so this is something that I've been wondering about basically the entire time since they announced the bundles. So I want to find out, you can put a bundle in a shulker box, pick up the shulker box, and put it in your ender chest. This is really going to revolutionize the way that people do massive storage systems like this. If you can put the bundle in the shulker box, that opens up a lot of room for opportunity to fill your shulker boxes even more full of how they normally are. So another thing I forgot to mention with the amethyst is that it's actually, when spawned, as you saw when I was in that world, it's going to be surrounded by a layer of calcite and a layer of tuff. So I'm not too sure what these blocks do yet, but they will be surrounding the crystal caves, so it'll be interesting exactly what happens with those in the future. Another technical feature that has been added to Minecraft is when a shulker shoots a bullet and hits another shulker, it actually can create a new shulker. So we're going to hop into survival mode and see how we can exactly test this. I don't know how exactly this works. They didn't really give us much information other than telling us that the feature now existed. So I'm trying to make something happen. I'm just letting them hit each other kinda, and also getting hit a lot in the process. But I can't seem to figure out how exactly it works so far. Oh, there we go. So if you saw that, a new shulker just spawned after one of them got hit. We're going to keep flying around here and hopefully not let him kill us. I died. I did manage to go back and I played around a bit more with the shulkers, trying to get them to hit each other. And they hit each other a couple times, and I think I got 1 or 2 more to spawn. But it does seem pretty rare, and it is pretty hard to get them to hit each other and not die while running around. There'll definitely be some farms that can be created from this, and I'm super excited to see how those are going to be made, and hopefully we'll be able to make one ourselves. Last but not least, one of the craziest features so far, you guys can already see these minecart tracks are underwater. We hop in the minecart and start going. The minecart now goes underwater. So this is actually insanely cool because it's never been in the game before. I wanted to kind of show you guys how exactly it all worked. So you can place them underwater just fine. As soon as you get on a minecart and go, it can be as deep as you want. I went fully underwater there, and it slows you down a little bit, but other than that, there's no problems with taking a minecart through the water. So those are all the features that have been added so far in the 20w45a snapshot for 1.17. It's going to be super interesting to see what's coming in the next snapshot, but it's already going to be an insane update with a lot of crazy cool new features. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe down below. I'll be posting videos for every snapshot until 1.17 and going over all the new updates. So make sure you stay tuned in, and I'll see you next time.